Okay, so let me explain this to those that are in the holistic allopathic world, trying to take all these different detoxes and poisons to get rid of things that they have really no understanding, okay, of or with or whatever. So just think of the best time of your life. Just think about the best time of your life where maybe you're in your 20s and you're in college and you're partying and you're writing your best thesis for your doctorate, or you're inventing something, and or you're in your teens and you're doing great in school and you're going to an Ivy League college and all of this stuff, and you turn out like Mark Zuckerberg, you turn out like Steve Jobs, you turn out like Bill Gates, okay? Or you're Trump or any one of those that are in high levels of office. Morning, Irene. So you've always had viruses, you've always had parasites in your body, but you were able to live symbiotically with them. Your immune system, your 11 different systems were able to negotiate, reconcile, my favorite words right now. Okay, so I'm going to use them all the time. It's going to annoy some of you, but that's okay. But your immune system, your 11 different systems, was able to live symbiotically with the viruses in your body, as well as the parasites. Now, in theory, back when we evolved from the Neanderthals, it has been proven through academia. Well, I'll say theory and proven shouldn't be in the same sentence, but it's been said in academia PubMed that the viruses actually leaped or projected evolutionary thought processes, projected evolution in man. So the viruses actually catapulted man to the next level. And then the parasites have their own thought processes, have a different way of thinking. Though I don't know what's in the mind of a parasite, but they add something to this earth. Parasites and pestilence, they have a specific reasoning behind it. They could be the guardians of the galaxy. I mean, I'm pulling that out of my ass right now, but they could be the guardians of the galaxy. They could be actually testing the barometer of each human, okay, to figure out how to keep the balance on this earth. Because when mosquitoes bite people, they're biting people that have lactic acid imbalances. So they're seeing that people are on a death trajectory, and they're inserting more programming like Lyme disease and all these different things that then cause people to then accelerate the death process. Because obviously, if a person was very healthy, like we're seeing people who are on the J juice get their lactic acid under control because the electrolytes has actually leveled out their lactic acid imbalance. Okay, and so we're not getting bit by mosquitoes. I got bit one time this summer, and now we're heading into fall. One time I was bit this summer. And I used to get bit all the time. My dog used to get fleas all the time. She used to get all this stuff, ticks, and she has not one flea, one tick, no nothing. Okay? She may have parasites in her body, but it's not affecting her because she has a strong immune system, a strong body to keep things well balanced. Because the parasites and the viruses that we're always being exposed to, remember, viruses are everywhere. You can't get away from them. Okay, so you can't. So you've been living symbiotically with viruses, even at your best. When you're writing your thesis, you're writing your signature on a mortgage, and you're driving a truck, and you're inventing Apple or inventing Microsoft or inventing J Juice. I was, the last 3 years I've been living with viruses and parasites symbiotically. They weren't destroying me. But what was destroying me was the fact that I had major mineral deficiencies and malnutrition. And so the things that were helping me, that were living symbiotically with me, were able to then take over because there wasn't a balancing force. It's all about balancing forces. You know what balances out salt? It's water. Everything has a balancing force. You know what's good? It's evil. What's that? The balance versus imbalance. Those are balancing forces. Okay? It has you able to to understand and appreciate both sides of the equation, to know where you stand, why you have taste buds that have salty taste buds, to taste salt, to taste sweet, to taste sour, to taste savory. So you know what food you're eating so you don't cause an imbalance. You have to detect what's being sweet. So if you're eating things that you don't have any taste buds, you won't know what the hell you're eating. So you'll be eating stuff that you don't know what it is. And it's going to cause then an imbalance and then cause cancer, disease, and chronic illness. Okay? So how do you know when you have an imbalance of cancer and viruses? You have major symptoms. It means the body's pulling from reserves, trying to patch up the weaknesses because you have imbalances. And then you are shitting out. Let's say you're doing the J juice and you're shitting out all these excess parasites that are clogging up your pipes. And then you see maybe the spongy material like the candida, the yeast, and it's orange. I've seen it orange or yellow or something. I don't see any of that stuff anymore. Every single time that I poop, I see what food I ate the day before. And I had bran last night, a big bowl of bran, and all that bran came out. But there was nothing. I don't see any parasites. I don't see anything like that. But I still have parasites in me because it's just you're on this earth. Do you know what the atmosphere and earth is made up of? The universe, the earth and the universe is made up of oxygen, water, electrolytes, trace minerals, fats, carbs, proteins, bacteria, and viruses. That is the external environment. That's your community. And that's what's inside of you. And then there's a specific chemical process, a chemistry, a formula. And then even out there, every single thing has a formula with a specific intention. They took the elements from the periodic tables and they created a stapler. And what does a stapler do? It staples stuff. It staples them together so my papers don't fall apart. It's just stayed nice and together. It's organization. It's an attention. Ew. Okay? So everything has a purpose. So everything is made up of all of that. So the elemental composition of the human body, oh, there's the keys. Oh my God, I would have been like, where are the keys? Is made up, right here, is actually here. So everything here in your body is actually in the universe. It's on Earth. There is nothing at all we should be demonizing, we should be afraid of, we should be discriminated against. Nothing, nada. Now you have to understand chemistry and biochemistry and how all that is constructed and why, with the intention. And we already have people with PhDs, postdocs, doctorates, whatever, already substantiated all this stuff. And it's all over with the Freedom of Information Act. It's all over PubMed. We have universities that are putting out all of their peer-reviewed work for everybody to have access to. I mean, the evidence is right there. Okay, so viruses you've always been exposed to. People that get vaccinated have always been, and they live great. I mean, you kids that get vaccinated and they have a strong body, guess what? They're off doing wonderful, amazing things. How many kids that have been vaccinated at school that are like A students? They have a virus in them. Even though they've got a weak, attenuated virus, it's still in them. And they've been exposed to other viruses in the community. And guess what? They're A students. And they're going off to Ivy League colleges. And then they're movers and shakers in their industries. And they also have parasites. Because when you lay down and go to sleep, when you cuddle your dog, when you get bit by a mosquito, or when you go and lay on and do ground, people that do grounding and they put their bare feet on the ground and they take in the sun, do you realize that you have a lot of pores and that microscopic parasites get into your feet and come in through that way? Spiders and bugs and things actually crawl through the pores of your skin. They get into your ears and your eyes and your mouth, and you're eating parasites all the time. When you think about it, you are eating parasites. And so my dog is too. And I cuddle my dog. We sleep together on the bed. She's right there next to me. We're snuggling together when it's cold. We're sharing parasites back and forth. But guess what the difference is? Why some people have parasitic infections and issues and others don't. is because her and I are very well balanced, because we have minerals that we're taking in to eradicate the mineral deficiencies. We're not malnourished because we're getting in the nutrition from not only the food supply, but we fix the weaknesses that caused us to be malnourished and mineral deficient. So guess what? We're able to reconcile with the environment and live symbiotically with the parasites, with the viruses, with the crazy trolls in the world, with the community, because we were able to fix the weaknesses. Now, some of you have thought that it was a mistake for me going on Dr. Phil. And I've read some of the threads out there that people have tagged me in, and I'm like, ugh. That's why I post some of the videos in some of your threads. It is never a mistake to introduce information to the world to get information and feedback back so you can then perfect your thesis. If people don't take chances in this world to get a thought process out, they will never get the feedback and the data they're looking for to make that invention better. You think that me just staying out of Dr. Phil and staying in my safe world of my group was going to give me any kind of incentive to take this to the next level? No, stress brings about fight or flight, and then either you're going to sink or swim. Okay? A lesser of a person who's not committed to their invention or their thought process would have already faded into the background. But no, I knew I was onto something, and I didn't care if I got flack from the world, because the more that you introduce something that is amazing, the more people get on board. Some will reject it, others will embrace it, and then you get the valuable data, the information, the feedback. And then that stress then causes you to rise up to the level of your own expectations. And then guess what? New inventions are being made. How does a diamond become a diamond? It's all the pressure of the elements that create a beautiful, shiny diamond. Diamonds are not created by slime. Diamonds are not created by people with no backbones. Diamonds are created by people who are actually willing to stick their neck out. Despite what everybody says, they're willing to risk it all because they believe in something. Because really, I had nothing to lose. I was already dealing with my viruses and all of the malnutrition and the mineral deficiencies and the potential overabundance of parasites that I wasn't even really truly aware of until people started bringing them up. But I was already down a that trajectory. I had nothing to lose by sticking my neck out. And I'm okay with the fact that some people think I shouldn't have gone on Dr. Phil, but you know what? Every single stress of being reported to the OAG, being interrogated by the FBI, having to then write a substantiation and turn it into like a teacher or my government. Thank God I had a little bit of education to learn how to write a little bit. And then I had some help from other people to help me kind of construct it, because it's been a while since I've actually done a APA format writing. But thank God that I had, that background, and thank God I had the willpower and the strength to back up my belief system. How many people would have been able to withstand that kind of pressure? Not many, but thank God I did, because guess what we've come out with now? We have this amazing protocol with all these revelations, and every single time I get attacked by somebody, I turn that energy and convert it, because I have balance, I have minerals, I have finally nutrition that I can actually absorb and have a benefit from. Okay, viruses have been around ever since before mankind. It is most likely the missing link in between the evolution from Neanderthal to then Homo sapien. And then parasites, they have their own mind and thought process that can work symbiotically. They could be the guardians of the galaxy. Okay, parasites could be the guardians of the galaxy. They could be the aliens that everyone's so afraid of, but they actually are trying to help us. Maybe they are our friends. But you have too many aliens in your body, it's going to take over because you're not taking care of your device. And so what happens when you're not keeping the balance in your body, other entities that want to live are going to take over. That's just how things work. Even if they don't have mean intentions, it's just what happens. Some people have very good intentions, but they're very imbalanced. They have very good intentions. And if you don't put boundaries, guess what? They take over. And you can, just like a child, when a child finds that they can take advantage of a babysitter, and let's say, like, I was a nanny at one point, and I used to watch these kids like 5 and 7, 8, 9, 10. And believe me, when the parents weren't around, I had those kids under control. Okay? Because I wouldn't let them take over me and manipulate me into, doing whatever the hell they want. There's specific rules that I had to keep them safe and to keep me safe. But as soon as the parents came around, all those rules that I had went the hell out of the window. And they took over their parents like a little cancer. Okay? So, but the kid has no ill intention. They just want what they want. That's what parasites and viruses are. They want what they want. And then you have to set the boundaries. No different than a child out of control. Okay? And so, yeah, I used to take care of kids. That was kind of like the birth control for me, but I still wanted kids at some point. But then I started not wanting kids. Because believe me, if I really meant to have a kid, I would have had one by now. But I took care of kids for a few years in 2 different homes. But let me tell you, when I was in charge, they didn't mess up. They didn't take advantage of me, and they were safe. But as soon as their parents were home, of course they were safe with their parents, but they just were like running around crazy and not listening to me, and the parents were letting them run all over and climb the curtains and swing from the chandeliers, and and they didn't care because that's their kid, it's whatever. But I knew that to keep them safe, I couldn't have them take over me and then cause all this chaos. No, I had to put my foot down on certain things, and I had to. But they had no ill intention. That wasn't their meaning. They weren't trying to, hurt me or anything, but they just want what they want. Kids want what they want. Parasites want what they want. Viruses want what they want. It's strictly a baser instinct with parasites and fungus. They may have a certain amount of intelligence, but it's still, they want what they want. They want what they can get away with. Just like children. That's why you have to put boundaries on children or anyone else that has an imbalance in their body. You have to lay the law down. Okay? So that's how we're able to then derive benefit, living symbiotically with everything in our world, the parasites, the fungus, the viruses, all of that. And they're not bad, because believe me, those who have made these crazy, awesome inventions, just like the J juice, as well as Tesla and Edison and hell, I don't know, Microsoft, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they live symbiotically with their parasites and viruses for many years, and they've had these great inventions, and they're so successful. Look at the people who are CEOs of company. Okay, look at heads of state. Yeah, they may have been born into the wealth, but they're able to maintain it and maintain control despite their parasites, despite the fungus, despite the cancers and the viruses. Okay? So yes, these things are not bad, but you have to keep it balanced so these little things don't get out of control. Just like the children. You put boundaries on children who don't have any ill intention towards you, but they want what they want. Just like my dog. She wants what she wants. And I have to put the boundaries down because she comes from a baser instinct. But she has an intelligence that really uplifts me. I get so much benefit having my dog around. She's almost like a little parasite, but a really cute little parasite. Okay? Sugar is the cutest little doggy parasite ever. And I love her to death. Well, not to death. But believe me, when I eat food, she starts licking her lips. Like, she has an expectation. And I feed into some of her manipulations because she's just so damn cute. But believe me, if I don't want to share it, I won't. And she knows. She knows. Okay? So think of parasites and viruses as children that could potentially be out of control unless you put the boundaries down. So when you fix your body with the right nutrition, the right minerals and all of that, it's like you're putting boundaries down, letting them know that the parasites and the fungus and the viruses are not going to take over and want what they want until they completely overtake you. Okay? It's a trip. All right. See you guys later. Bye.